start loading up right away, Dan.
What's the hurry, Chris?
Well, if we want to get that new government mail contract, we've got to be in Quandella Flats in 2 days.
What's the track like?
Well, it's not very good. That's why I'm going with you. But if we can make it in 2 days, so can the rest of our drivers.
It looks like they got a full load.
Yeah.
I beg your pardon. My name is Scammell, Joseph Scammell.
Yes, sir?
There are, in actual fact, 2 of us.
Coffin. Well, this is a little unusual.
No, I can appreciate that, sir.
No.
But these are
Not
unusual.
there.
Please, my boy. Not in front of the widow.
Well, I think it'd be much more comfortable up on top. I mean, for the passengers.
Exposed to the elements.
I'm afraid that's the way it'll have to be.
Slip him upstairs, fellas. Oh. Scandalous.
All this yours, sir?
Mine is the single case here, dear boy. The others, I believe, belong to Miss Rosie London.
All set, Chris.
Right. All aboard, please.
See you next week in Quandella Flats, darling. Very sad, in the prime of his life.
See you in a few weeks, Tom.
Goodbye, Tom.
Hey, wait a minute. You forgot the papers.
Well, it's all like this, there won't be any trouble.
Well, I didn't get off to a very good start with that undertaker.
Well, that aboard, he was asking for trouble.
Maybe more than you think. You know, I got a sneaking suspicion there's an inspector from the Transport Ministry on board.
An inspector?
Mm-hmm. To see if we're worth the subsidy. They very often ride the line like that before they award a new mail contract.
Oh, it can't be the undertaker.
Well, whoever it is, he won't tell us. So we better keep our eyes open.
And get there on time.
Come on, get up. Go on, Slash, get up.
Oh, no, not at a time like this.
What's the matter?
We may have somebody else on board. The paper says there are a couple of murderers loose in the district.
As well as an inspector.
I think I'll go down and ride with them after a while. See if I can find out who they really are. You do the same any chance you get.
Right.
You live in Mowamba, Mr. Scammell?
I live in the district, yes.
For long?
Only a short while.
But I understand you're an actress, Miss London.
And you're being kind, Mr. Cobb.
Do you always take such an interest in your passengers, Mr. Cobb?
I've found that on long journeys like this, it generally helps if people can get to know one another.
What would you like to know about me?
Anything you'd care to tell us, Mr. Irving?
I'm an accountant, Mr. Cobb, for the Black Plains Pastoral Company. And I suspect that you are traveling in here with us for reasons other than those which you have just given.
Well, what other reason would I have?
The paper says a man and a woman are wanted by police in connection with a most unsavory murder. Could it be that you suspect they might be traveling in this coach?
Could be.
I think there is a description on the other page.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Well, it was an accident. Honest.
It's all right. We have other copies.
What about this murder, mister?
From the little I was able to read, the police wish to interview a man and a woman. But dead man's wife and her friend. The strange thing is, the body hasn't been found.
No body.
This is Bray's Springs. We'll spell the horses and have some lunch. If anybody feels like waiting or having a swim, the water's clean and deep.
Come on, honey. Let's see if we can get our looks back. That's better. You live out here?
I did, but not anymore. Now I've got the chance, I'm leaving it all behind. And doing all the things I've always wanted to do.
Like what, Margaret?
See some of the places you've seen?
Ah, you'll find them just as lonely as the places out here.
I still envy you, Miss London.
Envy me?
Doing the work you like, traveling.
One-night stands and hotel rooms. I'd swap them all for a husband, a couple of kids, and a cottage. Too late for that now.
Hey! Somebody dumped the papers on the fire. I got back here and they were already burning.
Who'd want to burn them?
Who do you think? There's a description of the wanted couple in that paper. So who do you think put them on a fire?
Get the horses up, Dan. We'll push on as soon as we've had lunch.
Right. Do you really think the murderers are on board?
Well, it was a man and a woman. None of these people seem to be together.
I'll bet Rosie London's one of them.
Why?
She's the least likely.
No, I don't think so.
Huh?
I think she's the inspector.
Come on, get up! Get up!
Cobb! Stop the coach!
What is it, Mr. Early?
Mr. Scummel here. He's no undertaker. Look.
Yeah, well, it is our business, Mr. Scammell. People just don't travel with boxes that shape unless they are undertakers. And these invoices don't leave any doubt that you're in the import-export business.
You just have to trust me, Cobb.
Trust you.
I can explain everything.
I think it would take quite a lot of explaining.
Yes, and right now, or else to the magistrate at Quandala Flats.
That would be too late. We have an overnight stop, you know.
It's almost absurdly simple.
I bet.
Being an undertaker in the outback isn't a very lucrative profession. There just aren't enough people passing on to
Keep body and soul together.
crude but accurate. I was forced into import-export as a sideline. However, this happens to be one of my luckier weeks in my chosen profession.
Dan. Dan, up there. What happened?
Well, horses ran away. Are you all right?
Well, I know there was a flash and a roar, and that's all.
Yeah, well, you came as close to being struck by lightning as you'll ever want. You better climb down and get a little rest.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, it's a pretty big tree. We'll have to unhitch the team and try to drag it off the road. That'll take some time.
How long?
Well, I'd say it'd be dark before we can get out of here.
Wouldn't it be better to stay right here for the night?
Well, that means we're late getting into Quandala Flats.
Oh, I can't be late. I got a performance there tomorrow night.
I still think we should stay. The track's bad enough in daylight.
I'm for pushing on myself.
We've risked our necks enough on this trip. I say we stay.
I think there is someone else who would agree with that.
I say go on.
Well, I say we'd better put it to a vote. Now, let me see a show of hands on all those who want to go on now. All right, that settles it. We'll have to lop some branches off with an axe and then hitch up the team. I'll need everybody's help. All right, y'all ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
Here we go.
Yep, get up now. Yeah, get up. Yeah, get up now. Yeah, get up. Get up. Yeah, get up. Yeah, good boy.
Hold down. Dan, you handle the team this time,
Right, Chris.
and I'll make sure that this rope doesn't break again. All right, let's get it down.
No. No. Now, be careful there, will you? You shouldn't be doing this, you know, Cobb.
All right.
Easy there. You don't want to bump, you know.
Got it?
Yeah.
This is a terrible thing to be doing, Cobb, you know.
All right, Scammell, open it.
Cobb, have you no respect? No decency at all? No respect for the departed? Or for these people here?
I've got a lot of respect now. Open it. Well, now, isn't that nice? Ever since the hotel at Quandala Flats lost its license, rum running, or sly grogging, as you call it, has been a pretty profitable business. Am I right, Mr. Scammell? Now, why don't we push on to our overnight stop at Martin's Creek?
I'll do everything I can to try and stop you, Margaret. After what we've been through, you can't run out on me now.
Please, Tom.
There's still time.
This is Martin's Creek, our overnight stop. You'll have a chance to clean up before we eat, and I hope everybody gets a good night's sleep. We want to be underway at daylight.
Looking for me, Mr. Cobb.
Where have you been?
Taking a walk. I found it difficult to sleep.
Somebody let the horses out.
You don't think it was me, Mr. Cobb?
Don't I? Well, you're going to help round them up. So's everybody else. On your feet, everybody. Up. Come on, Scamble. Get up. Down. Somebody let the horses out. We've got to round them up. Come on, everybody up. All right, Dan, let's go. Get up! Get up! Ah, get up! Ah! Sorry about this. This part of the country's never cool.
You believe that I let the horses go last night, don't you?
I haven't said that, Mr. Irving.
True, you have not. But you still suspect me, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Why, of all the... Do you realize I've got a performance in Quandella tonight?
Yes, and it's just as important for me to get there on time, too, Miss London.
Have you really asked yourself why I should have done this thing?
That's been puzzling me.
Well, surely whoever let him go was reluctant to arrive in Quandella on time.
Agreed.
Well, who but the murderer was reluctant to arrive on time?
Well, that doesn't necessarily exclude you.
Oh, come now, Mr. Cobb. The papers, with descriptions of the wanted people thrown on the fire. The deliberately cut rope, and last night, the horse incident.
Well, that still doesn't eliminate you, does it?
Now, we know Miss London probably wants to be on time for her performance.
Mm-hmm.
And Mr. Scummel is probably just a sly grogger.
Probably.
And Miss Margaret is probably just what she seems to be.
So?
So why don't you ask our friend in the corner who let the horses go? It's no use you denying it because I saw you.
Is this true, what he says?
He saw me. I can't deny it.
Well, why did you let the horses go?
I've got a reason.
Maybe they both got a reason.
Hmm?
The way they were talking together last night, the pair of them, when they thought we were all asleep. That's just more than a casual acquaintance.
They know each other.
Well, this coach is no Lonely Hearts Club. They must be that chummy.
Why should they keep that a secret?
She said herself she was running away from something.
Well, now, wait a minute before everybody goes off half-cocked. What people do is their own business.
I think we ought to make it our business, too. All of these things that have happened add up to one conclusion.
What's that?
You thought you had a murderer on this coach. I say you have two.
You're crazy.
Do you deny knowing her?
It's true, we do know each other. He's my husband.
You expect us to believe that? After the way you two have been carrying on? Lovers, perhaps? Involved in a murder.
That's not true. He's no right to talk like that.
And this won't do your stage line any good, carrying criminals on it.
Oh, I wouldn't go too far into that subject if I were you.
Well, there's a difference between a little honest rum running and cold-blooded murder. Stop. We ought to be protected from this sort of thing, Cobb.
I don't know. I might have done the same thing if I was provoked like that.
There is enough evidence for you, Cobb. That man is dangerous.
Get him out of here! Get him out!
Yeah, throw them off. Let them walk.
Nobody gets thrown off of this coach. This heat, they'd die before they reach Quandella.
Hey! Here. Don't think you're leaving town, neither of you.
Excuse me. Is this the coach that's going on to Sydney?
Yes, it is.
Oh, good. We'll be traveling with it. Myself and these two suspects in that murder case. I picked them up last night.
All right? All right.
I ought to be whipped with a pearl-handled horsewhip. Gee, honey, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right.
I suppose I'd better tell you. I burned those papers.
You burned them.
Yeah, they carried a review of my performance in Mowamba. And, well, now at least I can play one night in this town.
Well, you must admit your behavior was rather odd.
As odd as an undertaker?
I hope you'll accept my apologies, but it was necessary. You see, I am a government inspector. For the time there, I thought I might have to come to your rescue, but your whole handling of the situation was, well, congratulations for being an hour ahead of schedule. From every point of view, I thoroughly recommend Cobb and Company.
Well, I thank you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Well, the way you behaved is your business, but letting those horses out is mine.
I wanted time. I wanted time for my wife to change her mind. She was leaving me, Mr. Cobb. But it's funny how a thing like this can bring two people together again.
When will the next coach be going back to Mowamba?
Tomorrow morning.
We'll be on it. Thanks, Mr. Cobb.
Good luck to you.
I was just thinking how wrong we all were.
Yeah, strange what fear can do. Now we're traveling with the real murderers. Or are they?